Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get started. Hello, hello, hello. You know the drill. Shout out where you're from because I have to know where my people are. Okay, I got to know where you are. This time of day, I think we're on U.S. time right now. This is where the people from the U.S. pick up the ball. How are y'all doing? Hello, hello, everybody. Jeez Louise. What's going on, Kim? How you doing? We're just messaging. Miami, Florida. Oh my God. I hear so many bad things about Miami and the dating scene. Um, I haven't, I've only been out to Miami, I think once. Yeah, I've been out there once. I heard it's a nightmare for dating. Is that true? Michigan, let's go, Michigan. What part of Michigan are you from? Georgia, I've been to Atlanta. I've been everywhere in Georgia. I've been to Athens, Savannah, Atlanta. Atlanta, of course, is the favorite. Good to see y'all. Welcome. Because you know we're going to talk about it. You know we're going to go a little crazy here. I met a guy on Bumble. He was interested, then pulled back, and doesn't want to stop talking completely when I ask him to. What should I do? Well, first I have to get some more detail. Like, did you meet him in person? Did you meet him in person? That's number one. Providence, Rhode Island. Let's go. Bloomingdale, Indiana. Let's do it. California, I gave up on dating. Some men are not good enough to go out. Well, the first problem is you're in California. So y'all met? So y'all hung out 5 times and he just randomly pulled back? Did he say why? Like, y'all met up 5 times? How long did y'all date? What was it, for like a month? That's crazy. Says he is not ready. He didn't figure that out before he started dating you. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Like, I know that people live different lives. And sometimes we don't figure certain things out until we get there. But the fact that so many guys keep saying, I'm not ready to date, and then they got on a dating app and they went out on dates, probably with more than one woman, is kind of weird excuse to me. Like, I'm be honest, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think that doesn't make sense. You figured that out after date 5? Like, nah, man. Here's what I think happened, and I might be wrong. I might be wrong, so don't hold me to this. I think that he enjoyed the time with you. I think that he clearly doesn't want you to go away. Um, but I don't think that he wants to prioritize it as a future investment. I think he's at a point now where he doesn't want that. He doesn't want the future investment part. Like, so he still wants you around, but he doesn't want to like commit to you. And he probably knew that was where it was going. And he was like, nah, you know what I mean? Because after you hang out about 3 or 4 times, especially over like 2 to 3 months, you start to think about what the future is. You start to say, like, where's this going? And he probably was at a point where he was like, dang, I don't really want to have to commit to that. So let me just say I'm not ready. But low key, I don't want her to go because I like some things about her, right? So he wants to keep you as like a, you know, whatever you want to make of that. But that's BS. Come on now. He's in a different city. I traveled for him and he did too. And we knew this beforehand. Well, I mean, I think that if you try, here's the thing. First off, I'm gonna tell you, everyone needs to be on their toes. If you date someone that's out of your state, like, just know that there's already a strike against you, right? I go into those situations with very little hope, like I'm like, okay, it's out of the state. Anything could happen, right? Because then you got to think, why are they looking for someone outside the state? Why are they even open to that? Because most people don't think about oh, there's this possibility I can meet someone outside the state. A lot of people like convenience, right? That's why a lot of these stores make so much money. That's why there's a gas station on every corner, or there's these stores. So I'm not saying this for everybody, but in most cases, people will lean more towards the convenient option than the inconvenient one. So what I would say is, if you're gonna go in talking to someone that's in a different state, you want to make sure that you're getting mutual effort, right? You want to make sure the effort is mutual on both sides, that there's not one doing way more than the other, or vice versa, unless that's the agreement, right? It does work. It has worked. I'm not arguing against anyone that says, my long distance relationship worked, but I'm just saying that you gotta be careful, because I've seen a lot of them really just not work out, and distance played a huge part, right? So I'm not saying that in your particular case, but I can tell you there was already strike against you when it started. So if it's already hard, right? Hey, Marie, if it's already hard, hey, Katrina, and you want to add more to like saying, okay, well, I already am not available, I'm not feeling it, I would jump out of that as quickly as possible. Because what the hell? First of all, if I'm gonna sign up, let me give you some gems right now. If I'm gonna sign up for a long-term relationship, or if I'm gonna sign up to date someone outside of my state, you better believe that I'm taking it serious, because that's a lot of work. It ain't cheap out here. Like, that's gas, that's travel, that's plane flights, maybe even hotels or whatever. Like, that's an investment, and stuff, inflation is up, baby. So you got to think, like, if I'm going to go through all of this and just ixnay all of my options that are close to me, because you may not have even met everyone that's close to you yet, right? So now you're going to have to, like, cut off everyone that's in your proximity. Then I better be taking it serious. I'm thinking like long-term marriage, like, we're going to go hard for this. But that's also why it makes it a bit difficult to date outside of your state, because you don't know, how do I put this? It adds a little bit of pressure, because all you have is talking. Now, it could be good because you talk, right? You talk a lot. But it can also be a little bit confusing, because it's like, okay, well, we're moving kind of fast because we have nothing else to do. What else are we going to do? All we got is talking. We can't hang out. We can't hug, So here's the thing. I am a person that has done many a long distance relationship. I've had about 3 or 4 of them. So just saying. And paid for his flight to stay in the city. Should I stop talking to him completely? Honestly, he already told you what you needed to hear. He said he's not ready for a relationship. So what would be the goal of you continuing to talk to him? Because if your goal was to be in a relationship, if your goal is to pursue this kind of person, it doesn't matter what he did. And that's one thing I would tell you, is don't give credit to someone for what they did in the beginning and say, now you're solidified regardless. If we are not in alignment, I don't care if you bought me a freaking car. Like, we're not in alignment now, so go ahead and hang that up. Because let me tell you something, even though he did all of those things that I see that you're bringing up, he also was okay with walking away. So he was okay with walking away from all that initial investment and all that work that he did. So why are you saying, well, he did all of this, so maybe I shouldn't stop talking to him? Did he care when he told you, I'm not ready for a relationship? And a lot of guys will do that even when they're dating. They'll date you, they'll take you out, they'll spend money, tell you how beautiful you are, how amazing you are, you're the one for me, that's it, that's all I need, boom, boom. And then out of nowhere, oh man, I gotta invest in my job, Oh, I'm not ready. Oh, I just realized that I still have feelings for my ex, or I'm still working through things. They are okay with losing you. The second they start saying that, they are okay with losing you. So when you're thinking, oh, well, maybe I need to hang on to him because he did so much, he did all these things, maybe I shouldn't let it go. What you're really doing is you're validating him. He can just invest in you in the beginning and he could walk off and you're still going to be hooked. So where's the value exchange after that point? So he gets to be like, you're nothing now. And you're like, okay, well, but I don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose what? It's already over. A lot of the times, just because things happen in the beginning doesn't mean that we're entitled to it in the future. So the beginning, like I said, does not grandfather people in. It should not. Why is a guy hot and cold? What is the goal with that behavior? There is no goal. A lot of guys don't think of, I'm going to be hot and cold on purpose. Most likely, the reality is that they are doing different things. They're preoccupied. They either have different girls they're talking to, or they don't really think that they're that interested. They're not that motivated. So they give you hot and cold behavior, or they're just that busy, right? So there's no goal from it. Like, a lot of guys don't think that intensely. Like, I'm gonna string her in and then push her away and make her go crazy. Because here's the thing, a lot of guys, they don't know if you're gonna walk away. We don't know that. We don't know what your breaking point is, what's your threshold. So if we do the hot and cold thing, we just don't care. Now, it's different when you're in a relationship. Thank you, Caroline. It's different because when you're in a relationship and they do hot and cold, they think that you're really invested. I would say that. In a lot of cases, if they do hot and cold and you're in a relationship, it's because they think you're too invested to walk away so they can do whatever. But let me tell you, if a guy's doing hot and cold with you, that's a bad sign. Hi, sir. You look handsome. Thank you, Ari. Kurt, I did it because I felt guilty that he missed his flight and was in my city. So, he was traveling to another state, took a detour, missed his flight. Since it was in my city, I paid for his travel and stay. Okay. Well, why? Here's the thing. He told you he's not ready for a relationship, so why are you even spending another day thinking about him? That's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that your mind is still on him and he just gave you a hard no. He closed the door. He said he's not ready. And so at this point, if you still pursue him, then you're validating the fact that you pursue men that are not emotionally available. So then he's going to lose respect for you because he's going to say, yo, I just literally told her, I don't want a relationship. And she's still giving me access. So yeah, he's going to be like, then why would I ever consider you? See, the way to get him to, or anyone to respect you is to stick to your own goals and guidance, right? And say, okay, well, I want a relationship. You don't, it's over. There's no reason for us to keep communicating, right? I'm not looking for more friends. I got enough friends. I don't want a pen pal. You already live in a different state. We're good. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Respect yourself. Yep. But you know, it's crazy how, here's what's crazy about the dating scene. How you doing, girl? H-Town, you back? Just got a spin cycle. Yeah, I'm about to go boxing later. How come I want to see him 24/7, but he doesn't? I don't know. Why do you want to see him 24/7? Is it good to give your partner space in a relationship? I think that a little bit of space can be healthy, right? I think that, you know, it depends on the person, right? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with, you know, occasionally spending some time apart. Like, sometimes you gotta get back to you, right? So sometimes you gotta have your own stuff going on and then you come back together. If you're around each other 24/7, I mean, it depends. It really does depend. Like, some couples can do that, right? But I think that there's no right or wrong way to do that. I think it really just depends on the couple. But I always think that it's okay to, you know, miss each other a little bit, you know? Maybe hang out with your friends, maybe do your own hobby, maybe have a moment alone with your own thoughts, you know, and not feel like you always have to, like, be a certain way. I think that could be healthy too. You need balance, right? I pretty much know, but he told me he's not ending a friendship with this girl that I caught him having a sexual conversation with and asked if I'm going to let this end the relationship. Well, I mean, you got to think about it. You caught, so that means he didn't admit it. So if you had to catch it, what else haven't you caught? That's the first thing. Number two, he's still friends with her and they already did it. Hey, man, I couldn't do it. Personally, for me, if I found that out, I'm ready to lose the relationship. See, we have to get better at walking away when our emotions are invested. That's where true power comes in. When you could walk away no matter how emotionally invested you are. It doesn't feel good. So if you're looking to feel good, I'm sorry, you're gonna have a lot of relationship problems. If your decisions are based mostly on how good you feel about the decision, then you are going to make a lot of bad choices. I can tell you that right now. Do not make choices based on how it feels all the time. Sometimes you just gotta do the right thing. Because sometimes we unintentionally program ourselves to be okay with BS. We gaslight ourselves. We try to cope the wrong way. We tell ourselves it's not as bad as it actually is. We do all these things and then our nervous system gets adjusted to it. So now we're like, okay, well, why does it feel so bad when I walk away now? Because you told yourself all these lies. So now you gotta tell yourself the truth, and now the truth hurts when the lie used to hurt. You've successfully adjusted your entire body to being okay with the lie. So in some cases, I've heard some women tell me they'd rather live in denial than live in reality. And I was like, you're gonna unalign yourself with your chakra. Your body, your nervous system, your mind, your spirit is all gonna unalign. You wanna see real depression? Go ahead and keep lying to yourself. And I say that all with love. There is a guy, we have been going on and off for a decade, already downhill. Thank you for the rose, Ari. Thank you for the 2 roses. Oh, 3. Well, you feeling generous. At first, his family was not ready, and later, I wasn't. He recently got engaged. I was hurt. I don't know why. Well, maybe because you were vulnerable to someone for a decade. You allowed yourself to be emotionally vulnerable to someone on and off, which means that you never truly gave up hope. And yes, that would make me feel a little bit upset. That's why, the lesson you can learn from that is to be very careful with who you allow yourself to be vulnerable with. Because let me tell you, you don't want a crazy person driving your car or watching your baby. Sometimes you have to treat your emotions like that. Hey, Lauren. Love from Romania. How you doing, Romania? Good to see y'all. I've been hearing a lot more about Romania lately. Y'all already decided to walk away. Just wanted your opinion. Thank you. Well, you got it. Absolutely. If being with that person makes you miserable, protect your peace. That's all you can do. Because honestly, no one else is going to do it. No one else is going to save you from this relationship. Like, I've had some people tell me, well, even though I'm in this bad relationship, if the right person comes along, I'm going to just jump onto that one. I'm like, bro, you're going to take your unhealed stuff and then give it to the next person? And that's your only way of leaving this relationship? And we wonder why our relationships suck, because we do stuff like that. It's like, we can't live with ourselves, so why should someone else have to? If you can't be alone and like it, even a little bit, why is there pressure for someone else to like you? You don't even like you. When you sit alone, you lose your mind. You can't take yourself out on dates. You can't take care of yourself. You can't put yourself first. So that makes you unbearable to your own self. And we're going to have the expectation that someone else is going to find it in us and provide that love that we don't give ourselves. What? How does that even make sense? Think about that, We both just got out of something and he keeps saying thank you for being patient with him. Well, I mean, that's cool. He's showing appreciation. You guys both just got out of something. So maybe you both probably have to have a little bit of patience with each other. You don't have to be, here's the thing, you don't have to be 100% healed, right, to date someone. You just have to be very accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be like, hey, I just got out of something, a few months ago. I'm not 100% myself. I know that I'm done, but emotionally, it's still hitting me. We could be friends, we can hang out, but I'm just letting you know I'm gonna have some moments. I'm gonna go there and just I'm gonna be accountable for that. But I will work out of it. I am currently working out of it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I love him or not. He loves me. I know he hurt me a lot. I think it was a situation. There were things I wanted which wasn't important to him. He doesn't love you because he engaged someone else. Now, if you say maybe he had feelings for you, maybe, but he engaged someone else. You know how when someone loves you because they choose you. Love is choosing someone. It's not just saying it. Oh man, I got love for you, but this other person. Oh man, I love you, but my job is such a priority right now. They don't love you. The word love gets thrown around so much that it's losing its value. We're just using it to make anything, it's almost like it's being used in so many different pieces of context. Like, what does it even mean anymore? Like, what do people really think it means at this point? It's a feeling. Feelings are like infatuation. That's like something that's a chemical reaction. Feelings are fleeting. 1 minute I feel like I want to eat pizza. The next minute I feel like I need to eat a salad. 1 minute I want to go for a run. The next second I'm like, man, I just kind of want to sit back and watch Netflix. Sometimes I got both feelings at the same time and I have to decide which one makes more sense. Love is not, my love life sucks. I don't think it's that your love life sucks. I think that your choices are not going in the right direction. I think that you've been trying to make something out of things and allow yourself to move a certain way, and you just need a little bit of an adjustment, right? Because there's still hope, right? There's still a chance. But I also think that you haven't been choosing yourself enough. Because these guys have been in and out. Both these situations you told me about were guys who were kind of wishy-washy after a certain period, and you still want to give them a chance. So that's the fact that you're not choosing yourself enough. If you choose yourself a little bit more, I always end up choosing red flags. How do I change that? You work with me. So what I would do if I were you, you send me a DM and we can get a session together. For those of you that want to work with me, send me a DM with the hashtag ready or just send me a DM saying anything and we'll talk. Because I have open spots actually this week. I have open spots tomorrow, open spots Wednesday, and I teach a class every week for an exclusive group. We have actually a class this week at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Last week we talked about healing from a narcissist. This week we're going to talk about more into why you're attracted to narcissists, why you're attracted to manipulators, and why you choose those red flags, right? What actually happens in your body that is out of your control when you get attracted to them, right? And how to gain control over it. So make sure you send me a DM and if you want to be included. Sure, absolutely, girl. We got your back. We're not going to let your love life suck anymore. Not with my guidance. Nope. How long should space be? I've talked to my guy best friend for 3 weeks. I've not talked to my guy best friend for 3 weeks. Wait, guy best friend? What do you mean by guy best friend? Your guy best friend wants to take space? Well, if it's just a friend, why does he want space from you? Yeah, I'm confused about this. Finally walk away from narcissism. I was never chosen. Well, that's because narcissists are going to choose themselves every time. Appreciate him not rushing into something and getting cheated on. I appreciate him. Yeah. Me and my fiance broke up. He says he doesn't want me. So why doesn't he tell me to move out? Well, why don't you just move out? Like, why do you need to wait for him to make the follow-up decision? Like, why can't you make it? See, I could turn this right back around and say, but what about you? Love is something you can't see, but you can feel it and it should feel good. Yes, it is something you can see. What? I understand what you mean by that, but yes, you can see love. If someone is doing things for me, if they're prioritizing me and my love language, if I say, hey, my love language is words of affirmation, and this person comes up to me tomorrow and they're like, I just want you to know that you did so well yesterday. I love the way you make me feel. And the fact that you thought of me yesterday shows me that you're just a great guy and you work so hard. You do that for me. See, that's showing me. That's something I can see right there. You know what I mean? So just saying it's just a feeling, that's just a feeling. A feeling is just a feeling. It is what it is. And sometimes feelings can be misinterpreted, right? Feelings are more like indicators. There's something that can't really be universally labeled. The way that you feel and the way I feel may be totally different, right? But we look at it different. It's no universal feeling. We're all like, unless it's like a broken arm or something, right? Outside of extremes. That's why a lot of people, when they date people, they get so confused. That's one of the most confusing things about the dating world. Is like, I went out with this person for 5 weeks. I went out with this person for 4 months, 5 months. And then, or whatever, let's just say 2 months, right? And then they just stopped. What happened? I thought we were on the same page. I thought we both felt the same thing. But that's what the problem is. You focus more on how you feel and you assume the other person feels the same because you feel it. Don't worry about the feeling. Just look at what they do. And then if they stop doing it, just assume that's how they feel. Most people can't do that. They're like, okay, well, if they stop, they must still love me. If they stop, there's probably still something there. Maybe they're confused and they listen to the excuses. But no, if they stopped, they don't feel the same way you do or they don't prioritize their feelings the way you do. Because if you felt these things, you would keep going. See what I'm saying? You wouldn't have a need to walk away because your feeling would motivate you to do something. So you can't know that without seeing what they do. You can't get inside their body and in their mind and say, well, I understand their feeling. That's where a lot of empaths kind of throw me off a little bit. I love the fact that so many of us claim ourselves to be empaths, but you really don't know how someone feels 100%, right? Me as a coach, the reason why I've been successful is because I don't try to relate. I don't try to say, oh, well, you feel the way I do. I can say, okay, well, we had similar situations and maybe you can understand how the situation is supposed to go. And I understand and I can empathize, but at the same time, I'm not going to claim to know exactly how you feel because I'm not you. I haven't been raised with your parents. I haven't been conditioned the way you have. My brain hasn't formed the same exact way. We've been through different struggles. There's difference, right? And honestly, I know I'm going on a rant a little bit, but you know what I think we can do that would actually make dating a lot easier for us? Don't try to understand how they feel 100%. Don't try to take that and say, I get it. Take it for what it is, but look at more of their actions and say, that's how I'm going to base it. Right? Because, and that's the thing, even if they do feel the way that you do, let's play that game. Let's say they feel the way you do. You like this person, it's been 2 months, you've been dating them, everything's been going well, and out of nowhere they drop off the radar. I'm not emotionally available, I'm not feeling it, I got issues, my life, my trauma, blah, 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 right? Let's say that's the case. Immediately we think, oh man, but maybe they feel the way I do. I'm sitting here with this feeling, so I know they are. That's normally what you do, or you invalidate yourself. There's something wrong with me. They didn't like me, right? They didn't like me. They didn't want this. So immediately you start to shift to finding the reason. Let's say they do feel the same way that you do, right? Let's say they have the same exact feeling as you. That means that they don't prioritize the same feeling you feel the way you do. You having that exact feeling would make you say, I need to do something. Them having that feeling says, I need to quit. Why would you want to date someone that takes the same feeling you have and they don't value it the way you do? We don't think of that. We think maybe I need to help them. Maybe I need to work with them to get them to see that this feeling is going to generate a positive outcome. Why? When did you become the savior? Maybe they don't want that. Maybe they don't like the feeling that you feel. Maybe for them, it's dangerous. And then we say, I love this person. You don't love them because you're not respecting the fact that they don't like this the way you do. That's like us both. You know how many times I've eaten something that someone else tried? Oh, we both tried the same cake. Okay, well, I'm like, damn, this is good. It's sweet. And they're like, yeah, it is sweet. I like that. I'm like, yeah. And then they say, I don't want to eat this. And I'm like, wait, why? Like, it's good. Like, are we not both enjoying its wonder? And they're like, yeah, but this type of sweet makes me concerned, right? That I could get, my blood sugar will skyrocket, I'm going to gain weight. This is not the type of meal that I would like to eat. This is not good for me. It's not healthy. So they liked it like I did, but they didn't want to pursue the rest of the slice. So that's like me going and saying, well, just eat one more. You can enjoy yourself. I'm not being respectful right there. That's peer pressure. So now they're going to be pressured into doing it, which means I'm serving my own selfish needs. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, how y'all acting? Thank you, Sarita. No, I appreciate it. I didn't take it that way. I don't take nothing in the way that ain't presented. You know what I mean? I take a compliment. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Love is not selfish. I agree. But yet so many people I've seen operate from a selfish mindset. They project their own feelings onto the situation and they don't look at how the other person feels. Because a lot of us can't handle rejection. We can't handle the fact that somebody can spend time with us, can feel good with us, and then just walk. It is like the biggest ego blow on the planet when someone does that. But yet we sign up for the possibility of that happening. If you're not okay with that, then you don't need to sign up to date. Just quit. Because it's a risk, right? Dating comes with a certain level of risk. You can meet a person, they could be everything you're looking for. Y'all could feel real good. Y'all can even sleep together several times. And then out of nowhere, they wake up one day and they're like, this ain't it. That's part of the risk. Now, you can help mitigate risk by having a strong vetting system and sticking to it, which a lot of us don't do. A lot of us don't do that as well because the second someone pushes our buttons a certain way, in the right way, we're like, oh, well, I give them a little chance. I usually say no to this, but you made me feel good enough to say yes. And then that's how we get tossed up. And then we blame it on them. We got to be careful out here. We got to be careful. Can I ask you something? Yeah, just ask. Just throw it out there. There are so many men emotionally unavailable or they just want to play games. I think both. Here's the thing. I don't think these guys are overtly playing games with you, right? A lot of guys are not that smart. Like sometimes I feel like we give them a little bit too much credit. Like they're these diabolical, masterful geniuses that just play this little game with you where they have 5 or 6 or 10 of you it's that many guys are not that smart. They don't know how to do that. What I will say is they like you to a certain degree. This is going to be a hard pill to swallow. Women do the same thing. Women, when they categorize you, it's almost impossible to get out of that category. Let's just keep it real. When you say you're like a brother to me, a lot of y'all lose that interest of seeing him as a possible sexual encounter. It's like you're automatically done. The brother to me response, I can only see you as this. You're such a great friend. I can't see you as anything else. You know what that means. You're done. The romantic lens has left the building. That happens with guys. But see, guys are a little bit different. They'll keep you in a zone where they're like, I'd still sleep with you, but I just won't invest in you for long term. So they're not playing. They're like saying they are genuinely emotionally unavailable. They're being real with you. That's the truth. But they're not saying that they're not physically available. See, that's the difference here. I'm emotionally unavailable, but the fine print, I'm physically available. They'll still take you out on a date. They'll still have a great time with you. They'll still treat you like a girlfriend. That's the crazy part. But they just will keep a certain category in check. They're like, okay, but you're not gonna get to girlfriend. That's over. So the best you could do at that point is just respect yourself and move on, unless that's what you want. Why does a guy ask, what do you see in me? Is it low self-esteem? Could be, could be. That's a weird question. I guess it could be. Or maybe he's just genuinely curious, right? Sometimes it's not always that deep. Sometimes he's just genuinely curious. Like, I'm curious what a woman like you sees in a man like me. Like, what is it about me that makes me unique? Because a lot of guys, don't like to assume. I wouldn't say a lie. I don't know if it's a lie, but I know there are guys that don't like to assume. So what if that person love you? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean by that statement. What if they love you? That's so vague. Love, what kind of love? How do they show you they love you? That's what I want to know. How do they show you? How does someone just wake up one day and turn off their feelings? Is that a discard? Nah, you want to hear a hard pill to swallow? Another one? Because we're just triggering everybody on this live today. They didn't just wake up and lose feelings for you. Especially when it comes to guys. Guys just don't do that. They don't just wake up one day and say, I don't feel the same. There was something that they already didn't like. There was something that they already wanted more. They are already there. They just revealed it to you in that way. So that's what I can tell you. In most cases, from what I've seen, guys do not just wake up one day and say, I don't feel it. Because a lot of guys don't always depend on feelings that much to make every decision for them, right? They don't depend on, I have to always feel 100% about this woman in order to be in this relationship. Like, think about it this way. Most guys are conditioned to approach women. Like, we're told we got to approach women. We have to be the ones to put ourselves out there. So we don't even know you, and we have to make conversation. We have to walk up to you. We got to offer dinner. We got to do these things, right? According to society, we don't have to, but that's normally the case. That's what's expected. So we have no way of knowing if we really like you or not yet. We just like the fact that you're cute. So some of our decisions already from the beginning are not based off an emotional reaction. It's just based off a surface level attraction. So we make decisions outside of our emotions. Now, what happens when we get in there, that's a different story. What if they tell you they love you? What are you supposed to do with that? Did they show it? You know how easy it is for me to say something? I can tell all of y'all I love you on here and never prove it. If you believe me, that's on you. Would you consider it hoovering if my ex just started going to his ex-wife's jujitsu classes? He would always say he wants nothing to do with her. He's going to the same exact class as his ex-wife? He couldn't choose a different class? Yeah, he's doing more than just getting jujitsu. Doesn't give himself any effort on your birthdays, forgets it as well. A good reason to let go. Well, is it just your birthday? Well, why? How does he forget your birthday if y'all are in a relationship? Isn't that like the one day out of like the year that you're supposed to, one of the few days? It's not too many days you really got to worry about. It's the anniversary, birthdays, like Christmas, if you celebrate that. They'll still sleep with you, but that's it. Oh yeah, you know how many times I've seen women getting broken up with their dudes and he'll still ask if they can sleep together? It happens all the time. Like dudes, a lot of dudes hold on to their exes because they want to still sleep with you. Because a lot of them can't get access to sleeping with women. So they're like, well, There's still that, right? There's still that comfortability. Um, how can you spot a narcissist? By joining my exclusive group. I have given so many pieces of detail. I have so many classes. I have a class every week. It's an exclusive group. You have to DM me to get in, but I give you all the tea. And the people that are in the class are even in this chat, so they'll tell you if you're curious. Should I mail my cheating ex-boyfriend back all his stuff? It's been 2 months done. I would. It's up to you though. I don't want to see my ex. After 2 months we didn't check, you getting the mail. I don't want to see your face. Or you just drop it off in front of the door. Well, you know, because you don't want it to get stolen. He forgets every year my birthday, and I didn't give him one time effort to meet my family. Sounds like you both got stuff going on. He forgets your birthday, you don't meet his family. It's been years. What are y'all even doing? Why do exes check your Instagram several weeks after a breakup? Because why not? I think sometimes we place a little bit too much weight on someone checking your Instagram like that means something. Like, I hate to tell y'all, sometimes it doesn't mean anything. You know how many times I personally have dated women and I'll look back at their story and be like, cool, looks good, and just scroll over. It's that easy. I'm not sitting there dreaming about it like, man, I really messed up with this one. Maybe I should hit her up. I don't do that. So if I can do that, I promise you there's people doing that. They just watching you because they like having access to you. They love seeing how you're doing. I mean, here's what I can tell you. If there were cameras in people's houses that people could have access to, a lot of people wouldn't tell you, but they would watch. Let's say everyone had a camera in their house, right? And it could be accessed through the internet. And people could go in, right? And look at it at any point in the day. Do you know how many people would look and never tell you? I mean, think about it. We got streamers that have streaming going on while they're sleeping. People are in bed. I see them on TikTok all the time. They're in bed like, yeah, y'all great. Yeah, I know we in bed, People will watch you, okay? And it doesn't mean a thing. Do you have any pets? Yeah, I have that dog right behind me. She's sleeping. She's always sleeping. My ex changed for his new girlfriend. He moved on quickly. You kept track of that? You kept track of exactly what he did for his ex-girlfriend? Yes, the group is amazing. It's safe. You can talk about anything. It's really popping. The group chat is amazing. We all look out for each other. Xavier's an amazing coach. Thank you so much, Katrina. Katrina has learned so much from me by now. Like and I've learned from her as well. She's good in the group. She gives a lot of great feedback. So you have more than just me in the group chat to support you. But yes, you have someone who has been riding for the group chat or for the community. I think you've been here for months, and she is a great advocate. So if you ever want to learn about how the group chat goes, Katrina, she's great. Thank you so much, Katrina. How much? It depends. I would say for now, just send me a message. It's cheap though. It's really cheap, like single digits. So, let's go ahead and send me a DM. They always come back when the grass ain't greener. My ex narcissist, and he talk about he fumbled me and the other girl, did him dirty. What does this mean? Wait, what? I'm so confused. They always come back when the grass ain't greener. If they do that, then they're crazy. My ex narcissist and who is he? Talk about he fumbled me and other girl did him dirty. What does this mean? Well, sounds like he's admitting that he messed up. He chose the other girl. She didn't choose him. So now he's coming back because you're a second choice. I mean, you want to hear it direct? You're not first choice. But since, you're still there, why not choose you? She messed him up. Yes, you have. What do you think about avoidance? That avoidance to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have had several clients as avoidance. I've worked with many people that had avoidance style. Here's what I can tell you. That is one of the toughest styles to date because they actively avoid anything that makes them uncomfortable. They can avoid confrontation, they avoid conflict, they avoid uncomfortable conversations, they will avoid, time with you, they'll distance themselves. That's their coping mechanism. That's very, very tough to work with. I'm not saying anxious attachment is any better, right? But at least with anxious, they actually come back. Avoidance sometimes will go cheat on you. I can't. I'm in the healing phase right now and I'm still hurting. Well, go ahead and apply for my group then. Dating, talking to a guy, stated he likes the fact that I do bother him in between meetups. That's good. That's good. Just make sure it's mutual. You don't want to be the only one. My ex just told me yesterday that he started dating someone, but he still wants to be my friend. For what? What the hell? He talked to other women next day after 4.5 years. Other women. But that could be his coping mechanism. Sometimes people don't always just move on that easy, right? Sometimes it's just easier for them. They find, it's that old saying, the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else. That might be what happened. He was like, oh, let me find someone else to get over this. What's your best advice for letting go? Join my group. Join my group, go to my class. Here's the thing. A lot of y'all have come out of long relationships, bad dating patterns over the last 10 years, emotional trauma, generational trauma. I can't give you an answer on one live that's gonna hit the knob for everybody. Sometimes I can give you a little something here and there, but to give you that, to heal all of that, and that's what I would say is a lot of us need to start taking our mental health a lot more serious. Because if you're thinking that you're just gonna get over it in one comment I make on a live, or anyone for that matter, you're gonna be grasping at straws a little bit. You need someone that's gonna understand your life, what you've gone through, and piece things together and start connecting those dots. Because otherwise, you're going to be doomed to keep making the same mistakes. And you're going to spend the next 10 to 15 years doing it, wondering why my relationships don't work out. Why do I keep getting the same type of person? At some point, you're going to have to take the reins on your own life. Because you know how hard it is for us to stop a narcissist? Like, I don't know. I'm a coach. If you want to ask more questions, then you can ask me in my DMs about what I provide and what I can do for you. My ex a stalker type. Well, that's why the good Lord invented the restraining order. Can a husband of 22 years say he's in love with you, say you're his person, but continue to cheat? Yes. Because words don't mean a thing. Words is cheap. People smile in each other's face every freaking day and cheat on each other. People smile in each other's face. Jeffrey Dahmer smiled in people's face before he took their lives. Do you think going on dating apps while in a relationship is cheating? Is that a trick question? That's real. That's a real. What is the point of a dating app? We'll go with that, right? The point of a dating app is to meet someone to date, right? So if you're in a relationship, a monogamous relationship where there's commitment, then going on a dating app, seeking out that type of attention is 100% cheating. That is cheating. Like, why would you go there? That's like saying, oh man, you know what? I'm gonna diet. Just making sure I'm not crazy. Who tried to gaslight you? Someone is gaslighting you bad, girl. You're getting manipulated. Am I going to remain single like this forever because ladies keep breaking my heart? What do you advise me to do? Get help. And here's the thing. That's also a sign of accountability right there. Is it that ladies keep breaking your heart? Or is it that there are certain things you need to pay attention to keep yourself out of situations with the wrong women, right? Because we're not all meant to be compatible with each other. So what I would say is take control of your own life, find out what it is that's really happened and maybe some signs you might have missed, and start to reshape how you view dating and how you view your own life, right? And how you perceive things. Because just saying that everyone else is bad is not a good way to heal, right? Because not everyone is a narcissist. Not everyone's a bad person. Not everyone's manipulative. So if you keep happening to be with this kind of person, at some point you got to start asking the right questions, right? Like, what am I doing? Because I can spot stuff from a mile away. You know how many times I've dated someone and within a week I knew? So, and it's not saying I'm perfect. You know, sometimes things get by me too. But I notice things. And then I need to be cognizant of that. My live-in BF said, I need a teammate right now, not an antagonist. What does this mean? He feels like you're criticizing him too much. And he feels like you're combative. And he feels like you're not agreeable enough. I'm so broken, I just want to heal. Then let's go. Then sign up for my services. Send me a DM. You don't have to sit there broken. There's ways to fix this now. You know what I mean? There's ways to fix it, girl. We got the resources. Thoughts on reconnecting. I'll hit your DM. Let's go. Thoughts on reconnecting with an ex romantically 15 years later. I mean, if you're reconnecting with someone that many years later, I would hope that there's been a lot of change. But the problem is a lot of people don't change that much. So I guess I would just have to go in and see if they've worked on themselves. And if I worked on myself enough, you know, spinning the block is rarely a good idea. I remember I had an ex hit me up after like 10 years. She was the same person. And what's crazy is I was different. That's what was crazy. It was 15 years later. And it was 10 years later, and she called me, and we talked. And she had the same reactions to some of the things that I said that she had when we were younger. And I was like, golly, man. I didn't even react the same. Yelled, got defensive. And I was in there like, you used to actually make me get reactive when you did this. It's crazy. Now that years later, I'm healed and I can see that. I'm going to have to let you go. I told her, I was like, we are not in alignment. Like the way you're acting reminds me so much of 10 years ago. It's crazy. And back then that used to get me. I told her, I was like, you used to do this and I would go insane and we'd both be just like losing our minds. I don't want this for my life anymore. I'm going to have to let you go. I was in a marriage for 35 years, was badly hurt, and I'm single for 7 years. Scared to be in a relationship again. Then you need my services, so go ahead and sign up. Go and send me a DM. Because I got the resources. I have a dating course. I have a class, exclusive, members only. We got all the resources to get what y'all need. What does it mean when a guy says he isn't afraid of losing you? Whoa, is this a red flag? I guess it depends on the context. Like, were y'all arguing? Like, I don't want to just say, the way you say it makes it sound like I should agree with you, right? But I don't know what the context is, why he said that. Because if y'all were in an argument and you said something like, you should be afraid of losing me, and he was like, well, I'm not afraid, that just sounds like two people having an argument and just saying whatever, you know? So I would ask, what is the context of him saying that? How can you cast demons? What? They got all the exorcist crazy on here. How can you cast demons out of a demon-possessed person? I don't know. Maybe find a priest. I can't help you with that one. I don't. You asked him? Why would you ask him that? Why'd you ask that question? There's something that made you ask that. Yeah, you never know what kind of questions you're gonna get on here. I'm like, hey, hold on. That's out of my wheelhouse. It's above my pay grade. Casting out demons, that's crazy. Yeah, why would you ask that? But see, here's the thing. Don't ask questions you're not ready for the answer to. You know what I mean? And then say you're a red flag now. You know, like I don't know. I feel like if you're the one that asked that, you might have kind of set yourself up there, you know? Because sometimes you don't always need to know the why. Sometimes some of those questions you just don't need to ask, right? Because what is that gonna do? Sometimes you just need to live in bliss and just if the relationship's working and you guys are working and everything feels good, sometimes that's all you need, right? We don't need to know all the whys behind why it's so good. It's almost like we're trying to sabotage this. Like, I just want to know the why behind why things feel so good with you. Like, nah. I'm good. Just let it be good, all right? I don't need to open that box. I'm straight. Hello. She said, I'll ask God. Yeah, there you go. But even then, just appreciate it, you know? Just learn to appreciate it. If on your side, you can only, look at what you see. If you see you DM'd me, thank you. I will DM all of you after this live. If you DM'd me, you are going to get contacted by me today. They got to do the verification puzzle on TikTok. For those of you that don't know, TikTok does this thing where it makes you do a puzzle to prove that you're there. You sent a heart? Thank you, MZ. What's the subject? Does it not tell you the subject? I have a guy I've seen a couple times, slept over third, asked me if he wanted to see fireworks on the 4th and left me on red. How long were you dating? How long did it go on for? We've been talking since the 21st of June. So it wasn't a full month. I mean, well, the first thing you could look at is it wasn't long enough, right? To say that, here's the thing. What I can tell you, I'm not saying that it's perfect, the system, but if you haven't been dating for more than 2 to 3 months, then it's just gonna remain. It's been casual so far. Yeah, it's still casual. So here's the thing: you have to think of initial dating as more like how do I put this? Think of initial dating kind of like a getting to know you, right? If it's been less than a month, I'm still getting to know you. Now, because you don't really know the person, there's no way you could know someone for real within a month or even know enough, right? Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't an attraction there, but if in less than a month you do quite a bit, it's risky. It's risky because You don't know who this person is. So, and the thing is, if you're in a get to know you stage, they could be dating other people. They could be entertaining other options. They might still be out there. They haven't solidified on you yet, and that's their right, right? I would hope that at least in a month, you still are not so sure, but you're just entertaining it and seeing what's up. But yeah, a month isn't long enough. A month isn't long enough. So that's what it is. I think he just probably wanted it, but then he just probably talked to someone else or didn't put that much emphasis on it. So it's too early to put that much emphasis for most people, right? They're still just figuring it out. So I wouldn't take it personal. I would just kind of be casual like he is. I would move on and probably date someone else, to be honest. But if it hurts because you feel like you did too much, that's another story, right? That's normally why they say you want to try to lean towards the 3-month rule. And you want to lean towards a 3-month rule, not because you want to use sex as a reward, but what you're doing is you're finding out if the person's going to stick around in case you don't like the fact that you might sleep with them and they might leave shortly after, right? You want to find out if they're in it for real, for long term, then you take a little while. This is not everybody, but it's just a good rule of measure, right? It just hurts because I was just at his house, then he switches up. Well, he's not switching up. It's early. You're getting to know him, right? So you haven't known him long enough to know what he's switching. You're seeing who he is. Now, if you tell me he was consistently this type of person for 4 to 6 months and then switched up, then I would say, okay, well, that's crazy, right? But in just a month, girl, this is him. The thing is, you've attached yourself to the good side of him and the parts that you wanted to see. But the reality is, both of these sides are who he is. At least right now, you need a little bit more time. 5 months of talking to someone and they ghosted me. Well, that's too long, right? If you're just talking to someone and they haven't locked it down within 3 months, 4 months, then yeah, they're not trying to be with you for real. So yeah, that makes sense that they would ghost you if you were just in the talking stage for 5 months. What are we talking about for almost half a year? At some point, we gotta say, are we in a relationship or nah? We gotta fail cheap and fail quick. Why did he tell me on the first date that he's looking for a wife? Well, maybe that's his intention, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. But I think that, you still have to get to know each other. But some people are that sure. Some people are like, I want my forever person, and I'm going to move as if I'm vetting you out for forever purposes. Now, I'm still going to have to give it a little bit of time and patience to get to know you and understand things. But I'm moving like that. I'm not moving as something casual. So that's how I see it. What would you call a person? What would you call a person an attention whore, whether it's negative or positive attention? Are you asking me? Are you asking me would I call a person that? By the way, for those of you that want to work with me, that want more of these questions answered on a private basis, you're going through healing or a breakup, make sure you sign up because I can't fit everyone in this week. So the more of you that send me a DM, the more spots I'll fill. I think it's probably like 3 or 4 left. Make sure you go ahead and send me a DM. For those of you that already have, you're already logged, right? So you will definitely get to work with me this week if you sign up. Make sure you do it. I got open spots. I just opened it today. My ex said that he can have any woman he wants. Well, why are you bringing this up if he's your ex? Why are you bringing your ex up? You're handsome. Thank you. Can you make a relationship work with a narcissistic person? Yeah, if you totally disregard your own sanity. If you are okay with losing all self-respect and, choosing to put someone else before yourself at all times and occasionally be cheated on or devalued, especially in private, and be lied to, manipulated, then yes. You just have to be willing to not care about yourself. Now, if the person is actively going through therapy, that's a different story. Why did he snap me a girl going down on him if we just started talking? Because he's trying to let you know what time he's on. He's letting you know what you're signing up for. He's out with it. We're gonna call him Mr. Crash Out. he's like this could be you too. That's what he's basically saying. He's a freak. That's crazy. I could never. Some of these dudes out here, man, please DM me. You DM me. Did you DM me? We were dating, but not officially boyfriend, girlfriend. Doesn't 6 months warrant at least a conversation? Hell yes. That's half a year. I don't know about you, but I don't want to waste a year of talking to nobody if it's not going nowhere. That is crazy. So, did you start a conversation? Or were you expecting him to do it? I'm sorry, y'all, but even as a man, if 3 to 4 months go by and I'm looking for a relationship and she's not allowing me to talk about it or whatever, you're not getting my time. I'm out. I'm sorry. I can't tell you what to do, but I can sure as hell remove myself. Good luck with life. Life is too short, man. We got one shot at this, y'all. We got one shot at this thing called life. And then that is it. Yeah, did you send me a DM? I don't even know how to say your name. P-A-R? Paro. I'm going to call you Paro. Why does it keep snapping me if I told him I'm not interested in getting to know you? Why have you not blocked him? You have a block button on Snap? I brought it up once. He was like, we are dating, but then ghosted. Yeah, because he didn't want a relationship with you. That's easy. Like, he was like, nah. He loved the fact that you were around, and he loved having your time and efforts and energy. But as soon as you started getting serious, he was like, gotta go. My boyfriend is not masculine. I don't even know what that means. I'm trying to be feminine, but I can't when he doesn't step up. I don't know what you mean by not masculine. Can you give me some details? I feel like the word masculine and feminine is kind of vague, right? And here's the thing, feminine, and I know I'm probably gonna ruffle some feathers, feminine is either who you are or it's not, right? If you are naturally a feminine woman, then that is who you are. So having this switch to say, I gotta turn it off so I can be masculine, then that's not you being authentic, right? So if you can't be authentic, then why be in a relationship with a person that doesn't make you feel like you can be yourself? You have to choose someone that allows you to feel like yourself. Can you imagine if I said that? I'm with this woman, but man, sometimes I want to be masculine, but I got to put on my feminine energy with her. You see, it sounds different when a guy says it, right? Like, so either I'm naturally masculine and I'm only going to be around people that make me feel like I can be that successfully, or I'm not. I'm not going to change that. How to deal with a narcissist, you walk away when you both work together. How to deal with a narcissist, you walk away when you both work together? Well, here's the thing. I say you're truly over someone when you can sit next to them and you don't allow yourself to indulge in certain behaviors, right? So if you work together and they mess with you, then you might have to get another job. Not much you can do. Why does he ask me to send him pics? Why are you asking me these questions? You have a block button. I think you want him. I think you're messing with me. He sent you videos of him doing sexually explicit content. He asked him to send you pictures. And instead of blocking him or moving on, you're coming on here and you're asking me what to do. Like, you could walk away if you hate it. But that's why I'm like, do you hate it or do you like it? Because this man has already showed you who he is in the most vulgar way possible, and you're still here. Thank you, Leandra. We dated for 3 more months after that convo. Girl, I would have shut it down. That's wild. No. See, you can't do that. If you date someone for 6 months and you try to have the talk, 3 to 6 months, and you try to have the talk and they blow you off, and then you continue to date them, they already lost respect for you. The respect is out the window because that was your moment to draw a boundary, right? And I'm sure that you guys had some kind of connection I don't know about, but the point is you kind of had that moment to draw a boundary. If he's not giving you a straight answer, I would be like, you know what? Call me when you got an answer, but I'm gonna go live my life. It's not worth it, baby. It's not worth it. I don't care how good it feels. Nothing is bigger than my respect. I've known this guy for 20 years. He tells me he loves me, but no title of proposal. Because he doesn't love you. He doesn't love you. Absolutely. Why do men want you to take the bare minimum and when your energy shifts, they come running back? Most of those men are unhealed. You're dealing with unhealed men. Men who are healed don't like the back and forth. We don't like to run after you when you leave and then give you bare minimum energy when you come back. We're looking for a woman that's gonna love us the way we love them, and there's no games, there's none of this playing around. Don't get me wrong, like we're gonna have fun and we're gonna have boundaries, but the fact that you walk away and I come chasing you, that's a sign that the man is not right. So those are unhealed men in particular that you were talking about. That is not a healed man. Absolutely. Oh, different guy. He said he'll plan a date, then ghosted me. Why? Why not? I mean, and then came back and said I was playing games. I don't know. There's a lot of like, I don't knows around your story. Because I'm hearing like parts of it, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, so he ghosted you and then came back and said you were playing games? How was the conversation going before he ghosted you? Were you like having good conversation? Did you seem interested? Were you like giving, regular energy? Because I'm gonna tell you, some of us are not good at texting. Like, I'm not saying that for you, but for in general. If you're just giving blasé answers, how were you? Good. How was your day? It was fun. What'd you do? Hang out with my pet? Like, some people after a while are gonna be like, man, I'm tired of this. What about men who get angry at tiny, silly things? I don't understand. He gets so easily worked up. That's another sign of an unhealed man. If a guy takes things personally, if he takes little things and he blows it up to a 10, then he has an attitude problem that he probably needs to go to therapy and get checked out on. So I guess I just accept the ghost, or do I send a message saying peace? Well, I think you kind of missed the window, right? Because you want to turn him down when he's actively doing something, right? If he's done nothing and it's just quiet, then I would just move on, because what would that do, right? Now, there's some people who are petty who would say it'll make you feel better to say something, but honestly, I would just accept the L, like, it is what it is. You did your best. It went into a disrespectful direction and you continued to entertain it. It is what it is. Sometimes you just got to accept that feeling. I know it sucks, but it'll make you a better person for the next one, right? And I would just move on, cut your losses. You'll feel better, trust me. Don't go back after there's been a silence, because then he's going to be like, you ain't really done. All it's going to do is make you look like you're still in it. And at this point, your best bet is to discontinue any type of image that you're still looking for this. Because, he had his chance, right? He has 6 months of you. 6 to 8 to 9 months of you. He had so many chances to lock this down and he didn't. Cut your losses. Divorcing after 22 years because he cheated. How can I find the right one to trust again? You're going to have to work through what happened in this relationship before you figure out how to trust, right? You're gonna have to work through that trust. I provide those services. Make sure you DM me. Cool, thank you, absolutely. Do you think single at 28 for a female is old? No. Who said that? I don't. But at the same time, I'm only one person, right? People have different judgments. I don't think it's old. I don't think 40 is old, right? I don't think 50 is old. I think that in a lot of cases, it depends on what you're looking for. I think that all of us have different unique abilities at different stages of our lives, and different people have different appeals to different kinds of people. I think that is all just a construct at the end of the day. So, no, that's what? Thank you, Ms. Durrells. Thank you. My boyfriend that I live with never plans dates and didn't do nothing for my birthday or Valentine's. Then why are you dating him? Because you love him? I already know what the answer is going to be. That's like the knee jerk answer every time I say, well, why are you still dating him? Because I love him. Oh, dang, I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. I didn't mean to send that invitation. Thank you. You rejected me. Um, cool. Thank you. Absolutely. Why guys shy to talk? Because rejection sucks. Where's the puppy? She's sleeping. She'll be up soon, I'm sure. Me and my husband have been together 22 years, and he's cheated and thrown me away. Well, he didn't throw you away because you're not a disposable person. He didn't value what he had, and he walked away. That doesn't change your value. And I know I'm nitpicking, but I feel like words are very important. How do you make friends as a grown person? You gotta put yourself out there. Go to meetup groups, go to events, go to things. I'm gonna tell you, some of the most people that I met, the coolest people that I met, is when I signed up for workouts. Like signing up for a boxing class, for a running group. That's where I met some really quality people. People who value their health, they value that they're committed to something. Those have been some of the biggest things that have helped me. So you were saying he's scared of rejections? Well, I don't know. I don't know him in particular. He might have social anxiety. I don't know. But what I've seen is that most people that are too shy to talk and put themselves out there, they're a little bit apprehensive of getting rejected. So sorry to hear that. Just know she isn't better. Just easier. Okay. Beautiful boot camp. Yes, for those of you that want to work with me, that want to get through what you're getting through, thank you, MZ. Thank you for the snap in the fingers. Go ahead and send me a DM with your information, and I'll get you in. Me and my fiance were together for 12 years. He left me last year, then came back after I started going out with someone. Didn't see that coming. After 8 months, just for him to leave me again in 3 months. But we do have a child. It's just hard to move past it again, but I just want to be happy. Then you need to work with me. You need to work with me. Because there may be things that are going on in your mind that you may need some perspective on. So go ahead and send me a DM. MZ has been gift giving, girl. When I walked away from my guy I used to be in a relationship with, he got mad. Why? Because he doesn't want you to go. Respect yourself and you will get over it, but you keep acceptable behavior. Yeah. Here's the thing though. Respecting yourself doesn't always feel good either. I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes respecting yourself sucks. Because sometimes you're like, man, I know I should walk away from this person, but we already created a connection. I don't want to have to get up and walk because they didn't do something right, because they crossed a line. Sometimes you just want to screw it up. You know, having boundaries and standards and self respect can leave you alone quite often. But that's just the name of the game. You're alone until you meet, all you need is one strike. That's all you need, right? It's just one decent person and you're done. But sometimes it seems so hard because you meet so many corrupted people. You're just like, man, is it even possible? As soon as we broke up, I found out he was on a dating app. Why would he do that? Because he wanted to keep his options open. I have too much fun TikTok because I stay home and have no friends. Do you like that? You like being alone at home on TikTok? I mean, I do, but clearly, you see why. Is it rude to ask a man how he manages finances on the first and second date, auto pay and savings? I think that might be a bit much to ask. I think that might be a bit much, to be honest with you. Like, and the reason why is because, asking a man about his finances that early, just in general, is sometimes a little bit too much. Like it's gonna put him on a defense. Like, why are you asking me that? Are you trying to find out something? You know? Guys take that and it's stupid. It's stupid. I'm gonna say this is stupid. But guys normally take that the same way that women take the question, what's your body count? It's like when you ask for our finances, that's how they kind of take it. And thank you, MZ. I think it's stupid. I don't think it's the same. But yeah, when it comes to finances, I would just be a little bit careful, right? I would maybe wait until you're further in and he starts talking relationship. When he starts talking relationship, then you could say, okay, then you can start opening that door, right? Because let me ask you, does it matter right now how he manages his finances? If he's able to take you out, if he's able to do things at this point, just getting to know him, does it matter? I feel bad that I'll miss that decent person due to the baggage and trust issues. Well, just know that no matter how decent they are, well, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know your situation. I was about to say something, but I realized I don't know. I don't want to assume. Did they quit you? What's your opinion on a long distance relationship? Man, I talked about that all in the beginning of this. I think it can work, but I think that it takes a lot. And I think a lot of them do not work. I think it's not that realistic for most people. But I think that if you're both flexible and you both have enough finances and time, I think you can make it work. I think if you're also serious about the end goal, it can work. But I don't think that it works for everybody. If you break up with somebody in 2 weeks and they're already in a relationship 2 weeks later, does that mean the person has been there the whole time? Maybe. I would say most people that date someone, need a little bit more than 2 weeks to know that they are ready for a relationship. Hey, but there's people out here that'll get in a relationship with you in a week if you do the right thing. So I don't know, right? I would say in most cases, I would say yes, that their person was always there. They always had something on the horizon. And here's something that I hate to tell some of y'all. Most people I've seen got something else brewing, especially when things start going wrong. There's something else going on. So when you're sitting here thinking that, oh, you guys are going to work it out, you're just dealing with it, you stick it out. Nah, a lot of them got somebody else that they're considering. So just be careful out here. When you have a child to someone, you start talking to someone new, how long do you think before you introduce the kids to a new person? I would say when we start talking relationship. As soon as we start saying, a relationship might be in the cards or on the table, I would say meet my children first because you want to make sure that they get along with your kids before you consider a relationship. For those of you that are new on here, that want to work with me, that want to get into my exclusive group, go ahead and send me a DM. What does that consist of? Send me a DM. I'll tell you what, it consists of a first appointment with me. So you get a one-on-one with me. So basically, if you want to start with a one-on-one with me, send me a DM. I don't think I've ever asked a man. Yeah. Well, you get a one-on-one with me and the group. Yeah, I haven't met too many women, at least in my dating experience, that has asked me. I feel like, well, what most women have told me is that they can just tell. They're like, I can tell when he's got money. I can tell how he spends it without having to ask. This was a 10 months relationship. Well, yeah, I mean, but I don't know, right? I don't know for sure. But I would say it's not crazy that someone's talking to someone while you're together and then they happen to jump into something else when they leave. It's also not exactly uncommon that people get in relationships in less than 2 to 3 weeks, right? But I would say more than likely, most people need to get to know someone. I need at least 3 months before I can qualify a good-hearted man, maybe a bit more. That's fair. We was going to therapy, and after we get into a big argument, he just started to act different and disconnected. Well, maybe things that were said during that argument probably wasn't what he was looking for. How do you get comfortable with being single? It's hard for me to be alone. One step at a time. But here, you can join our group. Send me a DM. Because our group helps with that too. In fact, we'll celebrate your singleness, right? You don't have to do it all alone, y'all. Like, that's why I made this group. That's one of the reasons why I made this group, is because you get support at every part of your journey, right? If you feel like you're extra alone this week, let's talk, Don't just sit there alone in your head, because then sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but if I sit alone in my head too long, I start making bad decisions. I'm just now learning that I don't have to be angry to leave someone who isn't right for me, but I've wasted years of my life holding on to people that were bad for me. Yes, you don't have to be angry to leave. I've left people that I had no hard feelings with just because we didn't align. How do I join the group? Send me a DM. How about intimacy? How long should you wait? It's different for everybody. I would recommend 2 to 3 months, just to make sure that the person is looking for something more than just intimacy. And it's not a guarantee, but a lot of people have seemed to find out what they need in that period of time. But like I said, it's up to you. It's different for everybody. But I would build to it. I wouldn't just jump into intimacy that quick, right? I would get to know the person, see if they align with my values and principles, and give them a few dates before to just kind of see if they line up with what they say. You need more time to do that. Why are there so many narcissistic people out here? It's crazy. I think that there's not a lot of narcissists medically. I think that a lot of people have narcissistic behaviors because of too much of the wrong opportunity. I think that they probably had parents that were narcissistic. They probably had gotten everything they wanted. They weren't told enough that they were bad. Society didn't catch them up. I think there's so many things. And some people just don't care, right? Been single for a while. I like it. With all the emotionally unavailable men, I don't want to date. There are emotionally available men though, right? So if you're just not dating, if one of the main reasons why you're not dating is because of this one group of men that exists, then you might also be discounting the men that are emotionally available. So what I would say is, don't let one bad apple spoil the bunch, right? Just because there's a lot of emotionally unavailable men that you've encountered, that you've heard about, doesn't mean that they're the only ones who exist. Do you feel about men that have an inferiority complex to successful women? Is that narcissistic? It's not narcissistic, it's just insecure. If a woman does better than a man financially and she doesn't do anything to make him feel, like he's less than a man, she doesn't compare herself to him or anything like that, but he feels that anyway, then he's just intimidated and probably insecure, so it won't work. You know, that's just insecurity. Thank you. I gotta look. I'm gonna look and see who's DM me right now so I can catch y'all. Let me see. We got a bunch of requests. Oh, yeah, we got a lot of requests. So I may or may not be booked up this week looking at these requests. Maybe we can align on a time, but I will go ahead and look at these. I got a bunch of y'all. On here. I'm excited. I'm excited for all of us. Let's go ahead and get it done. I'm so tired of dealing with my time wasters, then don't deal with them. Here's the thing, there's no way to tell early in the game. It's very hard to tell what someone's intentions are, right? Unless they just tell you. But what you can do is design systems where you can find out as soon as possible. I tried to DM, but it won't let me. What does it say? Dang it. Social media is so annoying sometimes, man. What in the world? You guys ever go to the For You page and see the wildest stuff? Instagram is so perverted. Like, like I saw some stuff on there. I'm like, oh my God. It says, unless you follow me. Sometimes I can't stand Instagram. Hold on, I can't even find you. How many A's is that? Is that 3? You know what you need to do? Click the link on my bio and fill out the form, and I'll get to you. Fill out the form. There's a form in my bio. Your bluntness today. Yeah, I am getting more blunt. You know why? Because it works. It works. People like straightforward stuff. They don't want me to beat around the bush. My clients tell me all the time, they're like, just give it to me. Don't beat around the bush. And I'm like, oh, alrighty then. There's a message you. Yeah, on Instagram. I just got you, so I sent you a message. On my feeds are Disney and donating charities and travel. That's nice. And I'm 9 months pregnant. Congratulations. We wanted to do this together, but it takes him days to reply. We barely communicate, and when I tell him my emotions, he turns it against. So you guys are not talking for days, and you're pregnant with his child? Do I have that right? I'd love to watch you dive into topics. I can't wait for a good 30 minutes of giving advice. Yes, I do this every Wednesday. I dive in. That's why I created the private exclusive channel, right? I dive in. I do this. You're going to see it. If you sign up for it, that's what you're going to see. Because yes, you see on here, I kind of like tiptoe, like I dip my foot into certain topics, but no, you get me like on the exclusive channel, I go so deep. Like I take it to like a scientific level. Like it's really crazy how much information that I get in order to address these things. I'm just giving y'all the sample. Perfect. I'll sign up. How do I sign up? You sent me a DM already, right? Fatima? Yes, I think I see. Let me see if I can find you. You sent me a DM? Why can't I find you? There you are. There you are. I found you. I wish I can see your uncensored channel. Well, yeah, you can. I mean, sent in the application. Let's go. Yes, because I'm gonna give you the nitty gritty. Like, let's not butter it up anymore. We're not sugarcoating nothing. We're going straight into it. This is what it is. This is how it is. We don't live in the same country right now. Says he is busy with work, but don't believe that anymore. Y'all got a lot going on. Y'all got a lot going on. I almost feel like if you talk to me once, I would probably reveal a lot of things that you don't want to think about. I'm pretty sure I would. Do you reside in Los Angeles? No. But I gotta tell you, from what I heard about LA, sounds like I don't want to be there. No, I heard the people are really cool. The culture's cool. But every single client that has called me from LA talks about the nightmare that is LA. Like, they're just like, it's a nightmare out there. Yeah, like inflation. I looked up, I looked North Sudanese. Ha! What does it even look like? Let me see. I get compared to Ethiopians a lot. I'm gonna look up North Sudanese men. Yeah, I can see it a little bit. I can see it a little bit. I feel like if I go over there, like if I went to like the Sudan, like would I blend in? Until I start talking, right? The men are not men anymore. They want to be princess, and dating is almost impossible. Well, I also heard a lot of people are very superficial in LA. LA should be like its own country. Like it's like in its own bubble. Everyone's chasing one thing. You've got people over here chasing money. You got people over here chasing looks. Like it's like where's the love anymore? Like everybody wants to be famous. Like it's like very superficial. What's your thoughts on age gap? I don't think age gap matters as much as alignment, right? Now, I'm not saying someone who's 18 years old should just date someone who's 40, right? Because sometimes I think that's a little weird. But what I'm saying is that I don't think age matters as much as the common goals and interests and values that you have set, right? We can be 10 to 15 years apart, but if we have the same level, if we have the same wants and needs and same mindset, like I've dated women that were 10 years older than me that we were so in alignment. Like it was, you know, great. So you'd be surprised. I think what matters more is what are you looking for? Because, for example, what I've heard a lot of women tell me is they want a man that knows how to lead and to take charge. If you date a man that's 10 to 15 years younger than you, the odds that he's gonna understand your level of experience and be able to also take lead, that might be a little bit tough to accomplish, right? That might be a challenge. So, but if you're willing to take a little bit more of the lead in certain areas and, you know, give him time, then that's a different story and vice versa, right? California is trash for dating and relationships. I hate it. I don't know why people still live out there. Like honestly, I feel like I'd rather go to like Texas. I'd rather go to like a little bit more south, right? I would. Because I can't handle a place that's that superficial. That would kill me. I can agree. He's right. Common goals and interests. I'm learning the hard way now. Because here's the thing: you could find someone that's around your age and have totally different goals and common interests, right? And that doesn't work at all. So it doesn't matter if you both have common goals. Then it's like we're both gonna work towards that. We're both gonna, especially common views. Like if you are a God-fearing person and that is important in your life, I don't know if dating someone that doesn't have the belief is going to be a good idea. I know people do it, but I don't think that's going to work, because in a lot of cases, you live your life by a certain code and by certain values. If that person doesn't have the same level of urgency that you do, then you might be setting yourself up for failure. California is my home, but I don't live in LA, but close to it. Thought about moving though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I've never been there, so I can't tell you. I'm just telling you from what I've heard. I did look up the average house price in California, and it was like $1 million. I was like, bro, for what? What am I getting here that I can't get? A party? I don't know. Like, for example, where I live in Virginia. I live a little bit further south, like I'm in Richmond, and you can get a decent. No, I'm not gonna tell y'all nothing. I'm not about to have an army of people showing up to Richmond, driving up our property value. No, stay in California. You're from Virginia too? Which part of Virginia? How do you find self-worth? It's not something you find. It's something you practice. Like trying to find confidence. You don't just find it, you do it, right? You don't just become a gym rat, you keep doing it, right? So gaining these qualities requires work, and that's what most people don't want to do. A lot of people want a quick way to make it happen. How can I quickly gain confidence overnight? How can I quickly get over this person? If only it were that simple, right? Now, they do have things that can artificially get you there, but then you're going to become codependent on those things to maintain that, right? Like they have, certain pills that you could take. They have certain medications you can take if you want to lose weight now. I think they have Ozempic, right? So you don't have to like go to the gym as much. You can just take that and then the weight falls off. But then you become dependent on Ozempic, right? Now, I think it is good for people who are at strong health risk, but at the same time, like you've got people who cope with breakup, right? They start drinking, they start doing behaviors like that. Sure, it'll diet down, but you're going to end up becoming dependent on it. Now, what I would do is you want to lean more towards constructive daily habits, right? You want to be in a more constructive area where you're doing more things that build you up, that don't coax it. You don't want to band-aid it. You want a long-term effect. So you still need to work out, but people ain't doing that. Come on now. You still need to work out regardless. Like, I agree. Like, just for health in general, right? You need to work out. You need to go for walks, go for a jog, do something, right? Just sitting there is just not going to be good for your body. But people don't. Can a respect ever be earned from a man again as someone who's just forgiven the disrespect? You're going to have to talk to me. You're going to have to talk to me because there's a lot of questions I need to ask you. It depends on the person. It depends on what's happened. It depends on how long it's been. Regaining respect from someone that's already lost respect in you, yeah, you can. But you got to play the gamble method. That's what I call it. I call it the gamble method. That's how you get respect. You got to gamble. And you may never see the results of it. What's that? That's something I came up with. I have a lot of little things I come up with. I have the slot machine effect, the gamble method, the tripwire method, or the tripwire effect. These are things that I've created for my private group that helps you understand things that emotionally affect us without, having to, when you go through it, this explains what happens. How do men show interest, ask for your number, and then do nothing with it? Well, they might have a girlfriend. They might have someone else they're more interested in. They might have just wanted to see if they can get it. And a lot of them, you have to understand people nowadays are a bit squirrel brained. Like, we've got so many different types of social media, access to different types of people. We got Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, Coffee Meets Bagel. We have FetLife. We have, there's so many different dating apps. Like, what do we have? What is this one? The one called Field. I just heard about that one. That's for people who are into kinky stuff. Like, there's so many different ways to get someone and validation, and talk to someone and then dip, right? So remember, a lot of us are competing with someone else's attention span because they have so many people they're trying to talk to, so many people we're trying to talk to. Just because you like this one person doesn't mean that they feel the same way about you. There's plenty of opportunity to reach out to someone nowadays and give you the illusion of options. But so when they show up one day and they just drop it, they could have went anywhere, right? It's hard to know. That's why I said don't let words get you, because they could give you words and they can give somebody else words. That's easy money. My ex decided to move in with the girl he cheated on me with, and she lives 3 blocks away from me. Yo, that's crazy. What? I would be so pissed if that happened to me. That's crazy. You cheated on me and you live nearby? I'm not even gonna say what I would do on here. You're gonna have to apply for my exclusive group. I'm not gonna say what I would do. I feel like I'd have to be a little toxic at that point. That's petty. What? I've never heard of that. Oh my God, baby. What? See, you kept saying words mean nothing, so my ex-fiance says he's done, but makes dinner, we still golf together. Well, yeah, but that's a sign. You just pretty much proved what I said. He said he's done, but then he cooked dinner for you. That means he didn't even stand on his words. How done are you? Right? So yeah. Is that not did that not prove what I just said? Or did I miss something? Oh yeah, you agree. Okay, so I'm like, yeah, no. You know how many times I've seen a dude say, man, I'm never talking to that girl again, text her the next day, so when we get together. Yeah, people don't. The thing is that a lot of people will say what sounds good because it's easy. That's easy. So don't let easy make you invest. Don't invest in what's easy. There's always a catch, right? How many times did they say online, crypto, you're gonna get $1 million just to find out nothing's gonna happen? The odds are crazy. At this point, you have better luck playing the lotto. That's really funny. Dust off your sandals. I just don't want to walk away till I really know it needs time. Well, you can do whatever you want, but here's the thing. If you choose to stay in a situation that is potentially hurting you, then at that point it is you. It's no longer them. And what sometimes we do, and I'm not saying you do this, is we stay in situations that are hurting us and we blame the other person. But if you see that this person is not giving you what you need and they're not showing up for you and you're still staying, that means you're signing up for the possibility you're going to keep getting hurt. No, I blame me. Okay. Well, if you're okay with it. But just remember that the longer you stay in a situation that's going to hurt you, this can cause deterioration to your mental and emotional health. That's the other part that comes with it, right? It's like drinking alcohol, right? Every day. A sip every now and then, good occasion is cool. You do it every day, you're going to start to see deterioration in your health. So yeah, you can keep going, but it's only a matter of time before you start to lose yourself. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? If you didn't originally do no contact after a breakup, did all the wrong things like beg and plead. Is there more to this question? What are you asking me? But started it and are sticking to it. Hold on. If you didn't originally do no contact after a breakup, did all the wrong things like beg and plead. But started it and are sticking to it, can it work? But started what? I'm not sure I'm understanding fully. What did you start? Can the no contact bring your ex back? It really depends. It depends, right? Here's what I can tell you. More than likely, it'll only work once. And it really depends on the person. And it depends on how you act after the no contact. Because the fact that you had to go no contact in the first place, that in itself can be a huge red flag. Because if it takes no contact to bring a person back, you might have to keep that same energy. And you can't, realistically. You can't keep cutting off a person because eventually they're going to call you bluff. So it might be going downhill. If you have a sense of urgency of your future and the other person doesn't, can a man feel like he's being forced? If you project that insecurity onto him, yeah. If you have an urgency for your future and the other person does not, and you try to make him move as quick as you do, and he's not in that mindset, then yeah, he's gonna feel pressured. I mean, wouldn't you? If he tried to sleep with you in 4 dates, wouldn't you feel like, or 2 dates, wouldn't you feel kind of rushed? You know, it's kind of like the same concept. Like you don't want somebody that's making you move at their pace, you know, because that's what they need all the time, right? Sometimes you got to compromise. It's hard. Why? You need help. For those of you that want to work with me, I'll shout this out again because I know that people are in and out when it comes to these social media things. Send me a DM that you would like to work with me, and I will get you. We'll work to get you into the group and get a one-on-one appointment with me. If you want a one-on-one appointment as soon as possible, and you book up, I got 3 more spots maybe this week. We may even start booking for next week. Go ahead and click and DM me as soon as possible. Do it right now, and I'm looking and I'm checking in on y'all right now. I'm gonna get y'all straight. Just follows you. Should I be worried? I'm in a new relationship and the person didn't delete their dating accounts. Why did you get in a relationship with someone that still had their dating accounts? But they weren't active on there and don't have the apps downloaded. Well, if they don't have the apps downloaded, you want them to completely delete their account? We met on a dating app. Did you delete yours? Was that agreed on before you guys got into a relationship? Was that the agreement that we're both going to delete our accounts? Or did you just get in? That was agreed and they didn't do it? Well, yeah, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. So y'all agreed on it and he didn't do it. Nah. Yeah, nah, that I would be done. I wouldn't have even gotten into it though. Like I wouldn't have gotten in the relationship. I would have been like, okay, well, just to let you know, I deleted my account. Have you? If they said, well, no, I did delete the app, not the account, I'll be like, well, that was the agreement. Like, are you not going to delete it now? Did you change your mind? When I brought it up, he said he deleted the app. Nah, nah. See, I would say, well, I thought the agreement was that we were both deleting the accounts. Are you just deleting the app? But here's what I would also say. If him deleting the app isn't enough to feel secure that he's not just gonna go re-download it, then maybe that's a concern too. Like, why don't you trust him to not download the app? Because even if he wanted to use it, he'd have to download it, right? So as easily as he can download it is as easily as he can, set up a quick profile. Because I mean, if you don't have an account, how would you even know? How should you set a boundary with someone that left things over your house but think they can just show up unannounced? Restraining orders are a real good thing. They're good to get. You can go down to the courthouse, make your case. The police department, local police station. Like, you might want to consider that. How should you? Why will men want you to cut off dudes but keep exploring other options? Because they want control, not a partner. I only know because my friend came across his account yesterday. Be honest. Is there? Then I would be ready to end the relationship. I'm sorry. Like, you got me in the relationship off false pretenses. You know how many times I talked to someone and I was like, they told me who they were, right? They were this person. Then we dated. Then I was thinking about a relationship. They showed me the opposite. I was like, I gotta go. And they got mad at me. They were like, well, why are you leaving? All I did is this one thing. I'm like, no, you said you weren't that person. Now you expect me to stay here even though you lied? Bro, no, we're not doing this. We're not kids. I gotta go. So yeah, she came across his account because homeboy is still active. He didn't delete his profile. I would not, personally, that would be it for me. I would be like, nope. Until you get rid of this, I gotta go. Is there such thing as a man that is 100% faithful and loyal? Yes, there is. 100% there is. There are men that wouldn't even imagine, wouldn't even think of cheating on you. Couldn't even get close. But you have to have the lens for that type of man, right? You got to put the right lens on. Because if you're looking for more of excitement and thrill and a guy who's toxic, of course they're not going to be faithful. They're not even faithful to you. They're not even faithful to their own good behavior, right? So, but yes, there are like 100. I know guys that wouldn't even look in a girl's direction too long. They go like, ugh. And they'll be with the boys. Like, they're not even with their girlfriends. If there's ever a time to wild out, it's when you're with the boys. They'll be with the boys, we'll be out talking about girls, and then of course he's gonna be like, yeah, that sounds nice, and then he'll like kind of turn his head and get uncomfortable. Like, some guys would hate the idea of doing anything behind his girl's back. Never. Some guys are really good like that. I feel like in LA, we're out here picking from the clearance rack. Your first problem is LA. It's downing it, absolutely. But like I said, if you want to work with me, if you want to get in the exclusive group where I talk about more, I go deeper into these topics. And it's unfiltered, it's uncensored, and it is as raw as it's gonna get. And I host it. Make sure you send me a DM right now, and you also get a one-on-one with me if you apply. Go ahead and send me a DM that you want to work with me. Send it through TikTok, whatever. Send it now so that I can get you booked, because I want to be busy. Keep me busy, and I'm gonna give you the time. It's only 3 more spots, so make sure you get in. I'm looking right now to see who's messaging me. Dang, man. I love when my videos blow up. I just posted this one, and it's already at 17K. I just posted it like a few hours ago. But you know, some people post it up and they get a million. It's so funny. I don't know how many of y'all saw. Send me a DM. I'll give you the details. Leandro, send me a DM. You know what's funny? I don't know if y'all saw the post that I just put up about the girl who was told that she was beautiful after like 12. No, that he wasn't attracted to her after 12 years and 2 kids later. Like, I don't know if y'all saw that video, but on Instagram, that woman that was in the video, she just commented. Like, she just commented, and she said, he didn't tell me he wasn't attracted to me until after we had 2 kids together. He told me I was beautiful up until that point. I had no idea. But he was also abusive, so there you go. I do have more self-love now that I've left that marriage. So yes, it's good that she posted that for awareness. I think that was really brave, to put that up. Yes, go ahead and send me a DM. Get it right now before I jump. I think we've had a good live today. I enjoyed it. Yes. Yes. She's in the comments right now on Instagram. She said that the guy said, "You should be thankful for me. You should be thankful for the fact that I find you beautiful after 12 years." I gotta tell you, sometimes these stories are so crazy. Sometimes it's almost unbelievable. Like, of course, I believe it, right? When I hear it, I'm immediately like, let me look into it. I have literally gotten DM'd from some of these guys. I have gotten the DM from some of these guys. They sound insane. Like, where are we finding these guys, okay? Because, like, the way they talk to me, they sound so crazy. Like, I'm like, the level of craziness that comes out of some of these guys is just insane. I'm like, that's when I'm being honest with you. How did you like this guy? Like, even when they're talking, sometimes when they talk to me, they sound like something's wrong with them. They've got like this way about them that sounds like, you're a little crazy, bro. Like, you crazy. I know that in the first conversation. Still experience, never loved me, 3 kids after 21. That's crazy. We allowed to ask questions about dating situations? Yeah. That's what we're here for. So I'm telling you, some of these guys are crazy. Some of these guys, they weren't like that before. Here's what I think. I think that everyone, most people are great at the interview. I think that most people can do pretty good at the interview, but there's signs, man. Like, I'm not doubting that they didn't show normal, but most people show signs. After I went to therapy and counseling and I learned about the game, after I became, more healed, I saw it. When I was broken, I couldn't see it. People were easily making me think they were normal, right? When I was broken, it was hard for me to recognize broken. When I started to become healed, I saw it so vividly. It was like in front of my face. So sometimes I think that might add to it as well. How far are we along in our healing journey where we can even notice this stuff? This girl asked for my number and wanted a date, but now she's ghosting me. Do I text again or just leave it? Well, here's what I would do. If she asked for your number and then she ghosted you, that's a sign that the interest may not be as heavy. I don't think there's anything wrong with sending one more text just to check up on a person. But after that, I would be done. You know what I mean? I wouldn't, because you don't want to chase someone. That's not good. But also understand, a lot of people got squirrel brain, right? A lot of us, we got 100 people we're talking to and entertaining. Is nowadays everyone's competition for everybody. And there's so much competition at this point. Not saying you need to chase, but just understand that, attention is a little bit scattered. So, and people don't even realize it. I'm checking to see my DMs. Let me see. Male friends and let their single friends give them relationship advice. I don't know. I don't think that's every guy. Are the DMs for one-on-ones? It's for the one-on-one slash the group access, right? So you get both. Thank you. How do I not take rejection personally and how to get over the insecurities of being replaceable? Send me a DM. Send me a DM. I'm guilty. I love everyone on TikTok. That's good. We love you too. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for the rose, Ashley Mack. We love you too. That's not guilty. That's awesome. Because believe it or not, people on TikTok, thank you, Ashley, times five. People on TikTok, I don't know everyone, but sometimes this can be a lot, Sometimes it can be overwhelming. We aim to please, right? We aim to show you what we can do for you. We are nothing without the crowd. I'm nothing on social media without you all showing up and constantly putting in love and support. So what I can tell you is that I notice you, I see you, I look in my comments, I look in my DMs. I love y'all. So yes, this is good. The love is returned back to you tenfold. Absolutely. So that's why I dedicated my life to this, you know? Should I forgive my BF after an argument? He broke my windshield and threw out my phone while driving. What did you do? Because that sounds crazy. That sounds like borderline abusive. That is abusive. What are you doing? That was just after a verbal argument? He broke your stuff? Were you, were you like physical too? I would say any argument that gets to physical levels is a red flag. That's like a deal breaker. Because it's only a matter of time because he really wanted to do it to you. That's the thing he won't say. But, yeah, if he's exerting force like that, that's bad. Especially if he has to get to that point. Like, that's some serious issues. Best practices for vetting a man, you'll have to DM me for that. You have to join my private class for that. No, I questioned him about shutting me up when I tried ordering food. And he broke stuff? Nah, that's it. That's it, baby. Hi, Yannick. So yes, this is one more last call, and I'm jumping off. This is for the private group and to get a one-on-one with me. If you want to qualify for a one-on-one with me as soon as possible this week, potentially, and you want to get into the private group where it's unfiltered and uncensored, go ahead and shoot me a DM, and I will talk to y'all. But anyway, much love to all of you. Much appreciation. We'll do this again soon, but love and appreciate all of you, and I'll see you guys later. So.